Hi everybody, it's Chartsky with a video of what we did this afternoon, July 31st in the live trading room. But before we get started, let me set the stage a little. We wanted to finish the month off strong, and we did, but we also expected the really strong down move in the stock indexes to continue from the European session into the day session today. So we were sellers, and we sold the E-Mini Russell and the NASDAQ and got whipped out a couple of times with some break-evens in there, but it didn't matter. There were 3 strikes, and so we were done for the morning, and we have to follow the rules no matter how hard it is. We were allowed to scalp during lunch, and we did, and then we're allowed an afternoon session starting at 1:30 Eastern, and we took advantage of that. So here are most of the trades except for the third trade, which you'll see a note about, and most of my comments as they happen this afternoon in the live trading room. Okay, almost 1:30. We start the afternoon session here in about 3 minutes. I'm looking for prices to either fail and come down or turn up pretty strong where we'll take some buys. You got kind of rounded bottoms here, so NASDAQ and the S&P. NASDAQ have to get up in here. S&P have to get up close to that pivot, but we're right close to where I'd take a Russell buy, but we're just a couple minutes early, so let's just wait and see if we can get it. And then we're in the Russell and the NASDAQ, see if it'll turn up. S&P needs to get up here about, we'll see how it does over 37. I'll be watching 37 a quarter for an entry. Let's see here. We can go to break even in the Russell for sure. We were able to get in a little bit earlier on that one. Had a better price pattern. 20 ticks in the Russell and the NASDAQ. I have to give the S&P a little bit more than 2 points, so it'd be a 3-point trade. S&P will. Again, watching at 37 to 37.5. Let's see what it does in there. +1 in the Russell. Make it a free trade. Okay, got the Russell. And we'll go in at 37 a quarter in the S&P. Making a 3-point trade here. Break even in the NASDAQ. +1 in the NASDAQ. Should just get a push on up. $39.06 in the NASDAQ is a 10 tick trail if it gets closer and can't push up, I'm going to lock in 10 ticks on it. There, we got it too. So we got, also we got to watch that S&P. Come on, S&P, push, push. Another tick and I'll go to break even. I'd like to see a little bit of momentum here. Let's just go to break even in the S&P. It should go on up. This candle, I have to reverse itself and go lower by a tick to knock us out. So I think we're all right going to break even now. Remember, it's a 3-point trade. We may trail this one after it gets over 39.25. So scalping through lunch, we got the morning 3 strikes back. Whoops, I'm sorry about that. Now we're into the afternoon session. See if we can't add on to the, well, the good price movement we've had since the last Thursday. It's hard to believe we sold all morning and got knocked out in that Russell 2 times on whip. I'm getting in a little bit late on this S&P, and that's why I'm kind of being a little bit more conservative with it. If it pushes up, fine. If it doesn't, we'll have more shots this afternoon for sure. They come down and knock us out here. That's all right. Like I said, we're getting a little bit late. If we went to +1, we'd just be guaranteed pretty much be knocked out. But I'll re-enter down around 35 on a bounce. Well, that's all right. We'll get back in down here at 35. Like I said, we were in a little bit late on that, so I'd rather get out, take a break even, let it get under us, and have to try and scratch. And they're coming down pretty good here. Let's see what we can find to buy. Or if we're going to buy. Let's look at that first. Okay, looking to get in the Russell at 1122, the S&P at 35 and a quarter, and the NASDAQ. I'm going to get in at 01. If it turns back up, I'll get in at 3.5 to 4. All right, we're in the S&P. Here we go, going down NASDAQ. And I give up 2 ticks. NASDAQ 1.5. I may have missed it on the spike down. I thought it would fill us. Still think the Russell will come down. All right. Watch the NASDAQ turning up over 3.5 to 4. That's where I'll pull it up to get in. Still not even 2 o'clock. Yeah, plenty of time. There we go. And the NASDAQ at 1.5. Uh-oh, sorry, I got 30 ticks. Should be a 20 tick trade. I'm sorry about that. Should hit and bounce. S&P has got a little down volume on it. And it's closed under 35. You may want to scratch. I'm going to hold it. You wouldn't be wrong to scratch it. I think we'll see a bounce. Yeah, I think we missed the Russell. Just didn't come down as far as I thought it would. I'm going to take the Russell off. Let's manage the other two. Let's go to break even in the NASDAQ. Caught the NASDAQ pretty good, didn't we? S&P kind of came through. We could have done better on that by a tick or two. Let's go to +1 in the NASDAQ, make it a free trade. Break even in the S&P. If it comes back, it'll be turning down, so I think we're pretty good on them. I'm sorry we missed that Russell though. Okay, got the NASDAQ and a couple hundred. You could get more than 2 points out of this S&P trade, but I'm just going to take 2 and be ready for the next one. Actually, I'm going to go to +1. If it comes back down, it'll hit break even if it hits +1. So we'll just go to +1. Cover cost and commissions. Let's see here. Oh, need to mark it, don't I? Not much else we can do with that one. We can put our trade in here. I don't know about this S&P. Let's take a point off. It's not showing us the strength I wanted to. I'd rather get money out of it than let it come back and give us nothing. So we'll split the difference. Take a point off in that one. Okay, we may be selling these things. Looks like they want to come down a little bit. Okay. Looking like they're wanting to turn down again now. Let's see, should fix that. I tried and got knocked out on trailers. I'm going to use 02 in the NASDAQ. If it fills through that, I'm going to sell at 02. 21 in the Russell for sale, which we're right at it now. All right, selling the Russell at, well, just a minute. And the S&P at 35 that ticks through. So 21 in the Russell, 02 in the NASDAQ, 35 on fills through. And 21 in the Russell. All right, we're in the Russell. The 20 ticks may get more than that out of it. I just take 20. Watching the NASDAQ for 02. Watching the S&P at 35. Let's see. I'm going to take a stop limit at 35 in the S&P because we may not get filled if it comes through good. If it'll turn down, I'll go ahead and enter the NASDAQ above 02, but 02 is my entry for that. Problem is, this Russell might take a little heat because we're not in the other ones yet. Then sometimes we get filled in one and not the other market. Okay, 02 in the NASDAQ. Whoops, we're not in that yet, sorry. Hadn't come back and filled us. I would have thought we'd be in. You have to give up a couple ticks. All right, now we're in. Wait on the S&P. I'm sorry, the NASDAQ's a 20 tick trade. 97 is the profit target. And I want to extend the S&P to 3-point target. Wow, that NASDAQ came down good, didn't it? Still just a quarter to 3. Here's the breakdown we've been waiting on. See how it came through 35 there and didn't give us a chance to get back in? All right, +1 in the NASDAQ. We got to get out ahead of that support and resistance. Come on, push down for us. Break even in the S&P. Just break even in the Russell. You know what? I'm sorry. We can't go to break even. Pull the S&P back. We can't go to break even on that yet. Well, come on, let's have a push. Quarter till 3 is all it is. This Russell is just hanging for whatever reason. It's not moving. If it knocks us out, I'm going to sell again. Probably 5 ticks higher if I can get in. Not believing it's not coming down. Oh, out in the NASDAQ. Now we can go break even in the S&P. Actually, we'll go to +1 in the S&P. +1 in the Russell. Whoops, sorry about that. +1. This will do it for us. I should have marked that, shouldn't I? I'll put the numbers in a minute. They're bottoming out. Lock in 5 ticks in the Russell. We'll get something out of it. I don't know why it's not coming down. Now it's just a question of how much we make. So we'll just try and maximize it. Yeah. Give us another push, we'll probably lock in 10. Let's lock in 10 ticks in the Russell. Come on down, Russell. Let's lock in 15. Well, it's right there now. Take 15 off. Looks like it wanted to turn. So that'd be anywhere from 10 to 15 trailing, but I'll just mark it that way. We got the full boat on this one. We got extra on this one, a 3-point trade. So it's a great afternoon session. More than makes up that plus the lunch scalps for the morning. So that'll do it. Any questions? Okay, that's the afternoon session. You can do the math. We did have a nice strong finish to the month. I'll do another video within the next couple of days showing this last week, which by itself was better than the last 4 or 5 weeks combined. But we were waiting for price to come off these highs, and we thought we'd get some really good trades when it did. Here's the CFTC disclaimer. It's very important, and I urge you to read it. And if you'd like to join us or you want more information, please visit my blog at www.chartsky.com or send me an email to chartskytrades@gmail.com. And thanks for watching.